Hi students, this video is to show you how our class is organized on Canvas. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go to when you come on to Canvas. I think in the welcome letter, there's an explanation of how to log into Canvas. You can also call the Welcome Center and ask them for help logging in. So I'm making the assumption in this video that you have successfully logged into Canvas. And when you do, you'll see your dashboard. Our class, as I'm making this video, our class isn't published yet, but it will be published, obviously, by the time by the first day of the semester. So what you do is you click on our course, English 102, and the first thing you'll see is our homepage, and that gives a course description, and it gives a little list of how to get started on our course. Read the welcome letter if you haven't already. That's a really important document. Watch the welcome video, which was included in the welcome letter. Watch this video. So if you have somehow gotten into Canvas without watching the course navigation video, you hopefully will watch it then. And then it gives you guidelines about how to start the course. What you need to start the course is to go to the module section and watch the week 0 module and go through the week 0 module and the week 1 module. So you have 2 modules this week. Normally you'll only have 1, but you need a week 0 module because that's sort of an orientation module for the class. There is a link to the check-in assignment here, but that link won't actually work until you've gone through all the pages before it in the week 0 and week 1 module. And I'll talk about why that is in a minute. So don't be alarmed if your check-in assignment link doesn't work. I will show you how to get it working. There's also a link here to our class syllabus. And then there's all the information you need about how to stay in touch with me. My email address, my office location and phone number, though it's better to reach out to me by the inbox over here on the left or by my regular email than to use my office phone number because I'm only there 3 days a week. In my physical office. My office hours, the link for my office hours and all online meetings with me, I'll use this link. That's probably the thing that students are often not finding on our Canvas page. They're like, where's the link to meet with you over Zoom? Or to come to your Zoom office hours. It's right here on the homepage. It'll be in a few other places too, so I'll point those out to you as well. But you can always go back to the home page just by clicking on home up here on the left, and the link is right there. The other really important number you need is the helpline for Canvas. You can call it 24/7. I call it myself sometimes. It's super useful, and that is also right here at the bottom of the homepage. For most of our class, though, when you're doing your work, you're going to be in modules. So you want to go over here on the left to where it says modules, click there. And then this is where most of the work you're doing in the class will be. And what do I want to show you about this? Right up at the top, there's just a module that just has important class information and resources. So again, there's a page here with the Zoom link for my online office hours and all online meetings. There's the welcome letter in case you haven't missed it. There's this video, the welcome letter in case you did miss it. There's the class navigation video, this video, in case at any time you need a refresher on it. There's information on how to use Pronto. We'll go more into detail on that in the second week of the class, but if you're impatient to get started, you can look there. Here on this page, there are a bunch of handouts that you will need throughout the course. guidelines for journal entries, questions to consider when reading a poem, which is a handout we'll use a lot, a guide to grading codes that I'll use when I'm grading your essays. So those handouts are up here. I also place those handouts all throughout the course, but if you're ever having trouble finding them, you know, you can always come up here and find them. And then a really important video, once you start getting essays back with my comments on them, you're gonna have to reply to those comments. And this video shows you how to find my comments and see them so that you can reply to them. So all that stuff is up top. Then, as I said earlier, this week, you're going to be doing 2 modules. Most weeks, you're going to be just doing 1. But since this week is the first week of class, you're going to do week 0 and week 1. And week 0 is a bunch of stuff just to get you oriented. A little information about me, a little bit of information about how we'll stay in touch, a whole bunch of resources for online classes. DE is just distance ed classes. Some information about how to set up your profile and notification preferences, which is super, super important. So if you don't know how to do that, check that out. Information on tech support, helpful GCC and student support links, and how to get help during this course. Then after you've gone through the week 0 module, you're going to go into the week 1 module. Couple things I need to tell you. When you can't see this because I might try to put us in student view and see if it'll be more obvious. Let me see if I can do that. I wasn't in student view, but now I'm moving us into student view and I'm not, this is what I wanted to show you. When you go into modules and you see week 0, you will notice that the first page is normal and you can access it easily, but these other pages will be grayed out. And that's because you must work through the modules going top to bottom. You can't skip any pages. So you can't just jump down to helpful student support links until you've clicked through all these other pages. So even if you don't need to see how to set up your profile and notification preferences, you do have to go through that page. So the way to do that is to start at the top page of the module and then click next in the right-hand corner. And then as you read each page, just keep clicking on next, and that will unlock all those grayed out pages. The reason I do that is not so much for the orientation module. I do understand that many of you, maybe have already read all this orientation information and you don't need to reread it. But when we get into the actual work for the class, students often have a tendency to just jump ahead to the assignments, the graded assignments, which I get. But if you do that and you haven't read through the previous pages, you're much less likely to succeed. It's kind of like doing the paper assignments for an in-person class without ever attending the class. You may not have really crucial information you need to succeed on that assignment. So I really encourage you. I mean, the way things are set up, you have to go through every page. I really encourage you to really read every page. Since teaching online, the one thing I've seen is I'm often returning essays to students ungraded because they didn't read the instructions or they didn't read a particular page that was crucial to the instructions. And so I can't grade their paper. So save yourself that stress by making sure you read every page. Okay, the next really crucial thing it's important to know is that you should not, in my class, rely solely on the Canvas to-do list. That's because the Canvas to-do list generally only lists things that have a specific due date, but there are many activities in my class that do not have a specific due date that are really crucial to succeeding and learning in this class. And at the same time, many students say one of the hardest things about taking an online class is kind of keeping track of everything they need to do. So in my class, what you should rely on rather than the Canvas to-do list is this page here, tasks to complete in week 1. So at the top, the beginning of every week's module, you'll see a page called Course Objectives for week 1. And that will tell you this page, by the way, in the beginning of week 1 says a little bit about how this course is organized, but then it kind of gives you the learning objectives for this week. Then you click on next in the bottom right, and what you get is a to-do list for the week, everything you need to do for this week. And I'm seeing it's listing 3 check-in assignments, but you're actually only going to have 1 check-in assignment, but a couple other important assignments. So I'll revise that before you get to it. So every week, you are going to, I encourage you to rely on this page, tasks to complete in week 1. You'll see tasks to complete in week 2, tasks to complete in week 3. Anytime you feel lost or confused or what's due when, that's what you should look at. So that's kind of your Bible for our class. Generally speaking, in our class, things will be due on Wednesdays by 11:59 p.m. and Sundays by 11:59 p.m. During the first week of class, you'll only have things due on Sunday. And after that, things will be due on Wednesday and Sunday. Occasionally, there will be things due on other days. When that happens, I'll post an announcement and probably send out a message also on Pronto, kind of reminding you or alerting you to that extra due date. I think that might be everything. The only other thing I would say is that you're going to be looking at the syllabus, reading the syllabus and taking a quiz on it in the first week. There are 3 different ways to access the syllabus. You can go over here on the left where it says syllabus, and there you'll see it. You'll see that this particular one is outdated. It'll be updated by the beginning of class. So you can read it here. You can also print out a printable version in Microsoft Word by clicking at this link. And then I did one other thing, which is on the modules page, if you go to modules and scroll all the way down, I made a module out of the syllabus, and it's right at the bottom of the modules page. I didn't want it to take up a lot of space on the modules page, but sometimes you want to look at the syllabus and you just want to find one thing. And I thought it might be easier for you to do that if it was broken up into different pages in a module. For example, if you want to know my office hours are actually my office hours are at the top of the page, but let's say you want to know my policy on late work. You can click right here and you can read my policy. So that's another option for looking at this syllabus. And then finally, I suspect a lot of you know this, but just a reminder, these different modules are collapsible. So if you click on this little triangle here, you can collapse these modules to get through them more easily, to create more space. So if you've completed 0 and 1 and you want to move on to 2, you can collapse those. And then if you want to go back to them for some reason, you can open them up again by clicking in the same place. I think I've told you everything I need to tell you about how this course is organized in Canvas, but if there's anything that's unclear, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. The other thing I would say is some of you may be looking at the class on the Canvas app. I cannot stress to you enough how important it is to actually go in through the GCC website and work outside the app. It's going to be really important for reading my comments on your papers. It will help things make a lot more sense. It's really hard, for example, to take this whole course by just looking at the app on your phone or on an iPad. If you're having trouble with your computer, remember that the library lends out Chromebooks. I think that's everything I wanted to share with you. I look forward to getting to know you in class. Reach out if you have any questions or comments.